Christmas is all about the coming of Jesus. And one thing that Jesus was passionate about was demonstrating to people that God can be trusted, the trustworthiness of God. And he demonstrated this in both his teachings and in his actions, the way that he actually lived his life. Now let's think about some of his teachings. For example, John 14:1. It just says, "Do not let your heart be troubled. Trust in God." Now you can't get any more straightforward than that. Jesus wasn't telling this in a parable. He's just trying to help us understand what he wants us to know. We don't have to worry. We can trust in God. I think about John 12, verse 50. Jesus said, now he's talking about God here, "I know that his command, that God's command, leads to eternal life. So whatever I say is just what the Father has told me to say." Now look, Jesus did all kinds of miracles. And, a lot of people were listening to him. And he could have said a lot of things, but you know what he chose to do? He chose to tell them exactly what the Father had told him to tell the people. Jesus trusted God in his teachings, and he taught others to trust God. I think of this example from Psalm 31, verse 1 to 6. And we're going to read that now. Psalm 31, verse 1 through 6. And I imagine Jesus, first as a young boy, and hearing this psalm read to him. As he got older and he had his opportunity to read, and even to read out loud, I can imagine Jesus reading this psalm, and perhaps even singing this psalm. But no matter what, I know that this psalm was important to Jesus. Let's read it. Psalm 31, starting in verse 1. "In you, Lord, I have taken refuge. Let me never be put to shame. Deliver me in your righteousness. Turn your ear to me. Come quickly to my rescue. Be my rock of refuge, a strong fortress to save me. Since you are my rock and my fortress, for the sake of your name, lead and guide me. Keep me free from the trap that is set before me, for you are my refuge. Into your hands I commit my spirit. Deliver me, Lord, my faithful God. I hate those who cling to worthless idols. As for me, I trust in the Lord." Yeah, this psalm was important to Jesus because he quoted part of it while he was on the cross. But this psalm is largely about trusting God. In verse 5, it basically states that God is trustworthy. It's talking about his character. In verse 6, it's this statement saying, "I'm going to trust you. I do trust you." And so this is a key component of our relationship with God, just like any relationship. But with God, it's different because he is perfectly trustworthy. And that's what the psalmist is saying is, you know what? You're trustworthy. I can count on you. I can rely on you. I can depend on you because of your character. God is always doing his part in this relationship. He always comes through. He's always faithful. We can always trust him. We know we can depend on him and count on him. But the other part of it is us doing our part. Where here the psalmist says, "I trust you, God."